I don't know how much time I got left. So I'm going to make this quick. It's really just basically out to the people that support Wack 100. Like, I don't understand. For real. I need to talk to one of them Wack 100 supporters. Not the bloggers, but like the influencers. You know, the King Pills and all them niggas that fuck with y'all. It was out 2800. It was just a dude on No Jump a couple weeks ago trying to fight somebody over Wack 100. What it is. Hey, we ain't never even get a chance to get to that Durk shit yesterday, man. YouTube clipped my live and shit. Yo, but Big U has been indicted again. Big U has been indicted again. And some of the things that's mentioned in the indictment came straight from Wack 100 mouth. What's up, all? Like, if y'all not convinced that Wack 100 is the police, and I ain't talking about with no laughing emojis at, like, it should be crying emojis, sad emojis. Whenever you reference Wack 100 being the police, that shit ain't funny, man. Ain't nothing funny about what the fuck you're doing, man. What's up, JB? Shit disgusting. Can't get the nigga out the way, so you tell on. He pulled a Sosa. So Big U has been superseded. Look, check this out. Big U has been superseded. A jailed Southwest Los Angeles gang member, music label owner, and purported anti-gang activist awaiting a federal trial was charged today with 7 additional federal felonies, including that he solicited 2 fellow jail inmates to murder or seriously injure a witness against him and attempted to tamper with that witness testimony. Eugene Henley, 59, aka Big U, of the Hyde Park area of Los Angeles, and who has been in federal custody since March 2025, previously was charged with dozens of felonies, including racketeering conspiracy, wire fraud, robbery, extortion, and tax evasion. The federal grand jury today charged Henley, a longtime member of the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crip Street Gang, with 7 additional felonies: 2 counts of solicitation to commit a crime of violence, 2 counts of tampering with a witness or a victim or an informant, 1 count of conspiracy to transport an individual in interstate commerce with intent that the individual engaged in prostitution, and 2 counts of wire fraud. Alright, so look. According to the superseding indictment, returned today on June 10th, 2026, Henley asked 2 inmates about the layout of a housing unit where he believed the witness identified in the indictment as Victim 1 was being held. Henley offered to pay the inmates to kill or harm Victim 1 to prevent Victim 1 from testifying at trial against members of Henley criminal enterprise. Henley also was charged with paying co-defendant Armani whatever, aka Money, of Koreatown, to transport women across state lines to engage in prostitution. In November 2022, he paid the girl via Zelle to rent a car to transport the woman from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. The girl sent text messages to Henley and photographs of the woman she transported. The following week, Henley sent the girl additional $500 for the trip. Alright, so look at the new superseding indictment. The superseding indictment returned today also adds new overt acts to the indictment, racketeering conspiracy charge. These acts include the following allegations. In 2014, Henley and his associates assaulted and chased a Grammy-winning record artist through Los Angeles International Airport to collect the debt and failing to show respect. Yeah, that's future, y'all. Henley in March 2022 prepared to provide false information to a court and a county prosecutor to fabricate individuals' employment with development options. In July 2020, Henley sought and was denied additional COVID-19 pandemic relief loans on behalf of development options. And in February 2023, Henley threatened to shut down the cannabis business unless its owner paid Henley and co-defendant Sylvester Robinson, they of Northridge. Hey yo, that's definitely the story Wack told. So, this is Wack is snitching, man. Because there's no way, if it was only Wack and Big U there, if it was only Wack and Big U present, they have to interview Wack. Wack has to be prepared to testify to verify these claims. So yo, if a nigga still fuck with Wack 100 at this point, you just a police ass nigga, man. Straight up. And I'm talking about the blog niggas. Y'all know these niggas. These blog niggas, man, that be fucking with your telling ass. What's the nigga name? Yo just did a video on. Shit, he might. He might. I don't trust Birdman anyway if he fucking with Wack 100. If he fucking with Wack 100, I don't trust him anyway. For real. Where the fuck your page at? I ain't trying to watch CSI 79 shit. What's up, man? Listen to this shit right here, y'all.
Now, with that all being said, Big U has been charged with a bunch of different things, but the biggest thing that everybody's been worried about is this Rashawn Williams case. You know, Wack 100 and 600 put this situation into the universe a while ago before it happened, and it was a big thing in our universe, in our internet space, and it just seems like it wasn't coming across at first, but now it's coming across. As you can see from Channel Black is where we got this from, channelblack.tv on Instagram. Big shout out to them. Big U, charged in new superseding indictment, chasing rapper Future through the airport, soliciting victims, inmates to kill Wack. Whoa, hold on. Not the same story that Wack 100's been talking about forever. Now, it's crazy that Big U's being charged with this because Wack 100 had this to say about this some years ago, and I said it then. Why isn't Wack being charged with a federal crime? Because chasing Future through the airport would be a federal crime.
Wack is the fucking police, man. Like, yo, I don't understand what more information do people need. Like, it amazes me every time I see Wack with a new content creator. Every time, like, it amazes me. Like, yo, and these niggas all supposed to be ex-gang members / street niggas. It's like, yo, y'all do know this nigga working, right? You got to know. Ain't no way you don't know. That man impeded in the whole federal investigation. Direct knowledge. You heard me. And has been impeding in the whole federal investigation. The man name is all through Big U paperwork. as being a victim. Now he tells this story that nobody never heard, and now Big U charged for it.
Let's hear what Wack had to say about it.
It's 16. You can find it on Google where them niggas that beat the shit out of Future and his security. Future ran out the LA club. Google Future gets rushed in LA club. They was on him. That's why they was on him.
Trick from Detroit.
Nah, Trick from Detroit. So, you know, that's broke, right? So all I know is, you know, we always knew who owed somebody some money. So when we leave and we go into Atlanta, you know that story I tell Rich about when Big U said, Wack, catch this flight with me, I want to show you something. And he took me out there and took me to the Four Seasons. He said, I'm going to turn this out to the 60s. They got a blood neighborhood around the corner. You could turn that out. And I said, nigga, you tripping. I went back to the airport and left. It was that trip. That was the trip. We on that red-eye Delta flight. Same one I used to always.
Look how specific he's been. Now he obviously knows that he's talking to the police. Like that's the thing about it. Like a lot of niggas on Clubhouse think he's talking to them. Man, that man is talking directly to the police whenever he speaks. You just might just be a fly, my bad. You just had to be a fly on the wall while he doing it. You know what I mean? Yo, this guy's terrible, yo.
These kids run off on. So the nigga when we come through, Big U he say, little bro, is that the nigga? I look, I said, that's Super Shoulder, bitch. I said, hey, Future, come here, let me holler at you. You know when you first come through, when you grabbing your...
Hey, Future, come here, let me holler at you. Keep in mind, as of today, Big U's being charged.
Yo, you must be new here, yo. Don't nobody get a pass over here, bro. Nobody gets a pass on QBG News, man. For real, nobody. No, yo, because there's too much fuck shit going on, man. There's way too much fake and fuck shit going on this internet. And there'll never be no real guys that get in. As long as these people keep dominating. You know what I mean? We ain't never gonna have no real guys that got real point of views, that got a real message to ever get on, as long as we keep letting these guys dominate. It's gonna come out in Byron Blake lawsuit that Wack 100 the police. That nigga better try to settle. Man, the police, y'all, I've been told y'all a while ago. Man, Wack been working since fucking Death Row, man. That nigga been working since Death Row, man. He was pivotal in solving the Tupac and Biggie murders. Can't forget the interest of justice, y'all. Can't forget he got that case in Texas dropped because of the interest of justice. That man been working age since. And he dangerous. Because this is the same guy that exposed rats. He exposed rats while being a rat and hanging with rats. Like, oh, that's crazy. That is a wild dynamic if you think about it. Like, I don't even understand how we accepting that. But this ain't even about him. Because we already know he a rat. This is about the people that hangs with him, man. These bloggers that be co-signing him. Yo, what was that? See, I don't really watch no jumper like that. But it come across my timeline every now and then. But it was a guy on there trying to fight another guy. Spody Face. Trying to fight Spody Face. Talking about Wack 100, my big homie. Like, what? Like, what the fuck is going on in California? Man, we ready to just, man, LA is going outside, man. Fuck that. Y'all don't know what's going on in Los Angeles, yo, but I think we've been lied to, yo. You know, they use Los Angeles, J Hood, that's his name. They use Los Angeles to push this gang shit into the culture, yo. And I'm starting to think them niggas, I don't know, yo. Because what's going on there right now with this shit, that shit can't go on no other place, man. Prime example. And salute to Atlanta, yo. And Hartmo, you know you ain't got nothing to do with this. You know you my guy. The dude Belly Gang Kush just called out Gucci Mane in a song, right? Hella niggas in the comments. Yo, you crossed the line. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, yo, y'all niggas really vouch for a rat. Go to my comments on that video I just dropped. Man, niggas don't vouch for rats, yo. I don't know what be going on in other places, yo, but you can tell it's a whole different, everything is different. Other places, niggas be making excuses. Yeah, and I appreciated him for doing that because it seemed like the Atlanta rappers is scared to talk about the Gucci situation. Remember I told you, I don't even think they're going to do no more interviews. I think we'll never see an Atlanta rapper interview again. Not a Future or none of them niggas, because they don't want to get asked that question. Not Young Thug, none of them. See, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to call you what it is, man. I don't give a fuck. You can be my right hand day one homeboy. If your name appear on some motherfucking paperwork, you feel me? And I get asked about it on the interview, I'm gonna say, man, that boy a rat. What the fuck you talking about? I don't fuck with him. He's cold. Fucking cold. Yeah, but this damn Wack 100, man, is a problem, man. I don't know how he been able to, to slide for so long.
Situation in a federal indictment, another issue and another conversation that Wack 100 has brought up that is now being used in the paperwork against Big U.
Get off the conveyor belt on the other top security, nigga. That nigga started trotting through that motherfucker. Lead the I'm trotting right behind him. We on the Delta side.
Mind you, you don't hear Wack say Big U's behind him. Let's play it one more time. He says Future is trotting, i.e. running. Wack admits to chasing behind Future. Why is Wack being charged with this? Why is Big U being charged with something that Wack admits to do?
Man,
borrowing from your buddies? That's
ever since Wack was hanging around Big U, I think he was trying to take him down. Big, you need to go back and question how that relationship even started. They probably sent Wack on this motherfucking ass. He already took down Death Row. You know what I mean? He already took down Death Row. Got Suge Knight out the way. Now he then two-stepped on over the motherfucking, Yeah, I don't get it, yo. I don't understand, yo. I don't think this can be too many other places, yo. Like, I know LA and California is huge, but that man be up no jumper all the time. Like, I don't get it. I swear I don't get it. But yeah, he done jumped on over there to Big U. Taking him down.
Delta fight. Same one I used to always catch like young off on. Right. So the nigga when we come through, Big U he say, little bro, is that the nigga? I look. I said, that's superseding, bitch. I said, hey, Future, come here, let me holler at you. You know when you first come through, when you grabbing your shit off the conveyor belt on the other top security, nigga, that nigga started trotting through that motherfucker. Lead a bitch. I'm trotting right behind him. We on the Delta side, right? It ain't nothing.
Man, rats don't keep no streets clean. Who the fuck told you that? Rats don't keep, man, rats are dangerous. Them motherfuckers will bite you if you ain't looking.
One flight leaving that night going to Atlanta, right? All the other red eyes on American side. So the nigga breaks right and runs into the thing that connected to the plane, but it wasn't no plane. The nigga throws the phone. When I picked the phone up,
yo, the crime rate low and ain't got nothing to do with no rats. Yo, look at it this way. If 85% of the people tell, right, they go to jail, right? Let's say 80%. That lets you know who's committing the crimes. If 80% of the people that go to jail is telling, how is rats making the streets safe when they the ones committing the crimes? Come on, yo, make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. They the ones doing all the wild ass crimes, the shooting in the crowds and the, beating up on women and all that shit.
now you're admitting to chasing Future through the federal airport. He threw his phone. Now you're in possession of stolen property.
Another reason why Future ain't gonna
Keep in mind, Big U's being charged with this.
say nothing, because he know I make the homie come on Clubhouse and tell the truth. He know. Right? I picked the phone up. He say, bro, I say, what's up? He say, the problem. I say, oh, the homie. He said, who? I tell him. He said, what he owe him? I said, this light ain't nothing but a dime, but he owe him. He played it. Nigga been ducking it. He say, Wack, my word, I said it in the morning. Give me his wire. My word is on me. I got business with that nigga. Let him be. He said, let him be. I said, all right, you got that. I dropped the phone on the ground and walked back out.
Yo, I think Wack been working with them people for so long that they just take his word for it. You heard me? Yo, how is it good for you being a civilian, yo, when they the ones committing crimes, yo? The rats would be the niggas that try to rob a civilian. Why you going to work in the morning? Those be the rats. I think at this point, Wack been working so long, they just take his word for it, yo. He ain't gotta say nothing else. All he gotta do is say it happened. They gonna run with it. Your ass gonna be on trial fuck around with Wack. All he gotta do is say it. I think that's how credible they deem his word, man. All he gotta do is say it, and yeah, you guys going to jail.
His money the next day.
Have you seen Future since then? So this situation is a situation that, again, Big U is being charged with. Let's get back to the actual federal indictment. Wait, hold on. Have you seen Future since then, Wack?
I've seen him twice in one of the red carpet events. Future ain't that type of dude.
Right.
So it was just his own. Like back then, we really had a system, nigga. Like this when we called when Clyde's old slate, and we caught that nigga out here. Nigga, we snatched that nigga off the stage mid-performance. Like, nigga, it was, we had a nice one.
Mind you, throughout all this, you
So
don't hear
the problem is, yo, in California, yo, too many of them boys willing to sacrifice for clout. You gotta think that's Hollywood. You know what I mean? They grow up wanting to be stars and shit. So it's too many people down there, yo. That's why that shit's allowed to go on in Cali like that. Wack can find a certified street nigga and give him opportunity, and a nigga bypass all the fuckery. He could be a crip. Bypass all the sucker shit, all the police activity, just because he want to get on. Man, fuck that. Not me. I don't want to do nothing that bad.
that ain't been doing any of these crimes, yet Wack is openly admitting.
Yeah, they all be going back and forth
through the airport, openly admitting to be in possession of Future's stolen property by way of the cell phone, and admitting that he snatched Plies off the stage for a similar situation, showing a history of this type of behavior on behalf of the late DJ K. Slay. Why is Big U being charged with this and not Wack, with the exception of the fact that we know maybe you can't go to jail for being on the job, i.e. Wack 100 has something to do with the fact that Big U's being Flu Flam, Skull Dug, and Larson.
Man, Wack 100's around Big U the whole time, lining him up, man. Listen to his reasoning. Y'all gotta think, yo, Big U didn't do nothing to Wack. Yo, Wack 100 reasoning for coming after Big U is because he said he tried to snake him on a business deal. Think about that, yo. Like, yo, one thing I learned, yo, when the reasons don't make sense, that can't be the real reason. So him trying to snake you on a business deal made you mad enough that you wanted to send him to jail? Man, fuck no, nigga. You was around that nigga the whole time to take him down, nigga. Ain't nobody fucking stupid. Cause that's his reasoning, y'all. When Wack used to talk about his issues with Big U, it stemmed from a business deal. So he just went on a whole slander campaign for 2 years, implicating this man in all these crimes. Brought loose cannon up there to snitch. No, yo, you was working, you was trying to get close. Learn what he got going on, yo, so you can use it against him, nigga. That's what the fuck you really was doing.
Because I can't understand how he's telling the story about what he did, exactly, but yet Big U catches the indictment. Let's see what the paperwork says. So let's jump into this Kantiana, man. Big U charged a new superseding indictment, chasing rapper Future through the airport, soliciting to unalive This is crazy. So we'll actually make this a different video. We'll start with this one right here, man. We'll just keep it, this video, let's just focus on the facts of what we got to do, because we have to break this down into pieces. Right here, he's being charged with the trying to get up on Future. That's the first thing. He's trying to get up on Future. The next video will break down all the superseding indictments. We'll break down all the other things where he's, busting his 1-2 step like Sierra. But for right now, his situation is he replied. When Plies off the stage in the middle of the game concert and runs to safety while Kanye West is performing, and then being caught up in the airport. Being caught up in the parking lot where allegedly members of the Rolling 60s got up on Wack 100. Now, with that all being said, this situation is gonna get icky, micky, dicky, sticky, and tricky as we continue to ride these YouTube waves, to ride these YouTube streets, because it's not gonna help the fact that we are all already assuming Wack 100 to be an informant. That all being said, man, we finna get up out here to the next one. Randolph to the left, you know the rest. We gonna let Wack 100 play us out. Underwear, what no board. Yeah. Nigga, we at the table. Ain't happening. Right. Yeah, when Plies own Slay, I had some insane niggas. Slay paid the nigga to come do a video. He never showed up. Stood up, Slay twice.
Hey, yo, we ready to switch over to Durk. I ain't covered Durk situation yesterday. I just really wanted to it ain't really too much to say about Wack 100. Like, that ain't already been said. My thing is with the people that hangs with him. The niggas that he bring up there on No Jumper that's supposed to be in the streets and supposed to be in these gangs. I got an issue with them niggas, cause they the ones that empower the bullshit. We need to start looking at them crazy. Like it should not be another influencer, blogger, to be able to come through the door through Wack 100. He should immediately be rejected. Soon as he get a Wack cosign, reject him. Send him back to the motherfucking set. Go at the police. Yo, but Durky, yo. Yesterday we supposed to talk about Durk. The federal government is trying to play a wild game with Durk. They ain't trying to get that man a fair trial at all. So I found a video where this girl, she breaks down the whole situation involving Durk. Did a good job too. Let me say this first.
You gifts. Don't send gifts, so I'm gonna get off. I don't want y'all sending me y'all money. Okay, can y'all stop sending? I'm gonna get off if y'all send me gifts.
So India, Durk's wife, was on live TikTok. She was on, what the fuck, they gave me the same call again? Hold on. Yeah, and she couldn't even accept money, yo, because of blogs. She couldn't accept gifts because blogs is going to push a fucked up narrative on her. I can just imagine. If she'd have took anything from anybody and didn't say what she said, the running narrative online would be, yo, Lord Durk going broke. Lord Durk going broke, India begging for the gifts on TikTok. But yeah, yo, this girl broke down Durk case real good. And what the feds trying to do. If I can find it. Here you go right here.
Then 1 month away from the start of Durk's federal trial, and his attorneys just filed a motion asking the judge to suppress some evidence the prosecutors say they got from his phone. And I'm not a lawyer, but let me tell you what this motion actually means and why Durk's team says the evidence from this phone should never make it in front of a jury. Okay, so before we get into it, you need a little bit of the background. And that is, back in July of 2021, Durk and India, his wife, contacted police to report that their house in Atlanta had been broken into. According to them, they heard the sound of glass breaking and then saw multiple people inside of their house.
Were y'all upstairs or downstairs?
Upstairs.
Okay. So y'all were upstairs asleep. What'd y'all hear?
Oh, it sounded like glass. It's a big noise.
Okay. All right, then what happened?
So, we got asleep. She got up.
Okay.
My security always leaves his gun, like, around the house.
Okay.
So I hit a break in. She grabbed a gun.
Okay.
We creep by the stairs.
Okay.
That's when we see, like, 2-3 people, like, lifting their head up.
Okay.
That's when the shooting happened. They ran.
Okay.
So when I ran up, I had told her to go in the closet. She dropped the gun. I grabbed the gun, laid on the back porch.
Okay.
And that's how I said we pull out time to get.
Okay. So Miss Cox and Mr. Banks, they were upstairs sleeping. They heard a loud noise. It sounded like glass breaking. They went downstairs. They grabbed the weapon. There's multiple weapons in the house because they have a personal bodyguard that stays downstairs. They heard the shots. Miss Cox grabbed the weapon, went down the stairs, heard shots. She returned fire, dropped the weapon, ran back upstairs. Mr. Banks then grabbed the weapon, went to the back porch, laid down, saw 3 suspects jumping over the fence. He returned, shot more shots at them. They took off running. 3 black males. They're wearing like black masks with t-shirts around their face. If you want the backstory of this gentleman, he is a rising star.
Rapper or some shit, Jimmy Cox.
Yeah. So there's broken glass downstairs in the basement. There's broken glass upstairs. And as you walk in, I saw 3 casings, one upstairs, one on the stairs, and one at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. Hey, call Spirit so you don't think.
Now, as a part of law enforcement's investigation into this burglary, they obtained a search warrant to search Durk's house.
Anybody go to jail for that shit, Scotty? What the fuck is you talking about? Nobody went to jail for this. And this ain't even about this ain't about that. This is about the game, the feds. So the feds, in this case, 5 years ago, not the feds, Atlanta Police Department confiscated Durk's cell phone. 5 years ago, they supposed to gave it back. Anybody who ever been through a situation where they confiscated your shit during the investigation knows once the investigation is over, they give you your shit back. Or at least you have the option to get your shit back. Well, that's not what happened in this case.
And take, quote, electronic devices and any other belongings the perpetrators may have left behind that would aid in the identification of the perpetrators. AKA anything that belonged to the robbers, the police had the authority to take from Durk's house. The problem is, according to this motion, in addition to taking things that belong to the robbers, police also take one of Durk's cell phones. And instead of saying, oops, we weren't supposed to take this, law enforcement keeps the phone, and about a month after they took it, they get a second search warrant to cover this phone. According to Durk's attorneys, this second warrant basically said since Durk is a celebrity and affiliated with a gang, it's reasonable that there are people who want to harm him or steal from him. And because of that, law enforcement want to keep Durk's phone so they can search it and see if there's anything that could lead them to who broke into his house. And so after getting this warrant, law enforcement keeps his phone for 5 years. So that happened in 2021 in Atlanta. Now fast forward to July 8th, 2026 in California. The feds in Durk's current murder for hire case in California get a search warrant to examine the download of Durk's phone that was taken from his house in 2021. They get this warrant on July 8th, 2026, and then 11 days later, they notify Durk's team that, hey, we got the download from Durk's phone from the 2021 robbery, and we found a text message that we want to use in his upcoming California trial. And then the day after notifying Durk's team, the feds file for another search warrant, and this time, instead of just accessing the download, they have requested to get Durk's actual phone that was taken from that robbery, because law enforcement still has it 5 years later. And so today, which is July 27, 2026, that's when I'm recording this video, Durk's team filed a motion asking the judge to exclude any and everything that has come from this phone, and they have 5 reasons as to why they say it should be excluded. Number 1, they say police never had the right to take Durk's phone in the first place, because remember, the original search warrant was only supposed to take things that belonged to the robbers, not Durk. And Durk's team is arguing that once officers realized that they accidentally took Durk's phone, they were legally required to give it back, but they didn't. Which means, according to Durk's attorney, that the initial seizure of that phone was legal, and therefore anything that has come from that phone is also illegal and should be thrown out. So that's reason number 1. And now moving on to reason number 2, Durk's attorneys say the second warrant, the one that said since Durk is a celebrity and gang affiliated, there could be something in his phone that could help them solve this crime, was unconstitutional because it didn't establish probable cause that evidence of a crime would actually be on the phone. Follow me. According to the 4th Amendment, police have to show a judge that there is a reasonable belief that evidence of a specific crime will actually be found in the place they want to search. And so here, Durk's attorneys are arguing that Durk being a celebrity and gang affiliated is not enough to establish probable cause that they should be able to look through his phone. Okay, now moving on to reason number 3, and that is basically that keeping someone's phone and all of the data from that phone for 5 years is unreasonable. And they're basing this argument on a 1982 federal appeals case called United States versus Tamura. During the investigation,
it's basically fruit from a poisonous tree. That was never supposed to be no evidence in no case. But the feds is using this and trying to build a case off of Durk, like using old text messages and shit.
of that case, law enforcement got a search warrant that allowed them to go to Tamira's job and take specific things. However, when law enforcement get to Tamira's job, they realize that there's a lot of paperwork mixed in with other paperwork. So they couldn't just take the paperwork they were allowed to, they had to take more than that. But they said they would sort through it later and then return what they weren't supposed to have. Tamira goes to trial and is later convicted, but he appealed the conviction, arguing that law enforcement shouldn't have been allowed to take more than the search warrants allowed them to take. So he appeals, and the U.S. Appeals Court agrees with Tamura, kinda. They agreed that generally speaking, law enforcement should only take items authorized by a search warrant. They shouldn't take anything more than that. However, because there are instances where papers and items are mixed together, it is reasonable and in some instances unavoidable.
Yo, so basically, like if the judge sign off on a warrant, say they come in your house looking for a strap. You know what I mean? Say they come in your house looking for a murder weapon or something. You feel me? That's all they're allowed to, supposedly, that's all they're allowed to take. Now, if they find something like sitting out while they looking, like they find drugs just sitting out, or they find drugs in places that a person would normally keep a firearm, yeah, they'll charge you with that shit too. But they can't be looking in your motherfucking shit, your refrigerator. You understand what I'm saying? They can't search your refrigerator and find a motherfucking some motherfucking dope and then charge you with the dope because that went beyond the scope of the warrant. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody keeping no, I'm just using this as an example. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's keeping a firearm in the refrigerator. So why the fuck is you in the damn refrigerator? Now, they get away with this because niggas don't be having lawyers, niggas don't know the law. But technically, they ain't supposed to touch nothing outside of what the warrant was signed off for.
That law enforcement temporarily take more items than they are supposed to. But the appeals court ruled that when it does happen, Officers should separate the documents covered by the warrant versus those that are not, and they should avoid holding on to anything they aren't supposed to have longer than necessary. The appeals court didn't give a specific timeline, but they emphasized that this process should be temporary and law enforcement should return what they're not supposed to have in a reasonable amount of time. And so, back to Durk's case, his attorneys say holding on to Durk's phone and this download from his phone for 5 years is not reasonable. And it's not what the Court of Appeals meant when they said temporary. Okay, and reason number 4 and 5 in this motion are kind of similar, and they are basically that prosecutors have had access to Durk's phone for years, but they chose to wait until 1 month before his trial was supposed to start to disclose that they have this text message. And reason number 5 is that prosecutors are just now getting a search warrant for his actual phone 4 weeks before his trial is supposed to start. Durk's team is essentially saying that is unfair, and based on these reasons, anything from this phone should not be allowed in. Okay, so that's the motion and the argument Durk's team is making. The feds will have the option to respond.
Yeah, they playing dirty, man. They playing dirty. They've been playing dirty with Durk the whole fucking time. I think the judge is gonna side with the defense. The prosecution, yo, is gonna have, by the time court come, I think the judge is gonna be sick of the prosecution. For real. I think he's already sick of them. You know, I think the judge probably allowed the prosecution to straddle the fence, and now they trying to, you know, jump over the fence, and he's like, nah, man, I can't keep letting y'all do that. And I think they creating a situation where come trial time, he ain't gonna be trying to hear none of that shit, man. It's gonna be their fault for trying to be slick. But I gotta get back to work, yo. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you share it live. Another day, keep it your news, and I'm out.